Hello, and in this course we're going to build this animation, and this is not a course for going in depth in any of these softwares like Illustrator, After Effects or Photoshop. And if you want to learn more about Illustrator, I have a complete course for that, and you can find it here. But for now I just want to make this video to show you how you can make a GIF pretty fast and easy. And you don't need to know everything in every software just to make this. So we will go through what you need. And in part 1 here, we're just going to make quick this logo. And in part 2, just put it together and I will give you some tips and tricks. And in part 3, we're going to make it ready for the After Effects. And then we go to the After Effects, have a quick introduction. Then we will look at some settings you need to have set. And then we will go through the keyframes so you understand how the animation is made. And then we will go to the mask so you can see how you mask an object and what it is. And in the end there we are going to make the animation. And till the end we are going to go to Photoshop and just save it as a GIF, and that's pretty much everything we're going to do in Photoshop. So let's get started with the first part, and then you go to File, New, and you create a new document. And you call it something. And then you take the width and the height to 1 pixel each, and the color to red, green, blue under Advanced option. And then create. And I have a picture that I found from Pixabay that I want to use. So just drag it in here and can scale it down holding Shift and Alt. And you want to take the opacity down. And you can always lock it, Object and Lock Selection. And then take the Ellipse tool. Take away the fill so you can see what you're doing here. Make sure you have stroke on 1. And Ctrl C, Ctrl F to copy and paste in front. I'm not going to make this logo perfect. I'm just going to go through it really quickly. And if you want to learn more, then you can watch the other course that you find here. So you go to the Ellipse tool, find the rounded rectangle. And you take Alt, just drag it to the side to duplicate it. Rectangle tool. Direct selection tool. Then you click on one corner and just line it up. And there. Then Alt, drag it to the side, so we duplicate it. And then I want to use the pen tool. That was a little too much. Same goes from here. Click and drag if you're not familiar with that one. Yeah, this is working. Like this. Then you highlight everything and you go to the shape builder tool. and you just start making everything together except the middle one there, because that will be the background. Let go. If you want to take away, then you just click Alt and you drag over. And now we can take away the background. You see it's not perfect here, but what you do then, you go to the shape tool, you right click on it, and you find smooth tool. The reason why it's weird here now, it's because it's another shape here, like this. We can take away, try again. Yeah, it's better, it's working for now. And in the next video I will just finish this one, and then we will prepare it for After Effects. Okay, so to begin with here now, we want to make this a little smaller. So you hold Shift and Alt, make it smaller, and we can start coloring it. Want a blue color, maybe not that strong, this one. And inside we can have not completely white, but a little gray, actually. Eyedropper tool, and just the one in the middle here. Okay, then I need to highlight it and use the shape builder tool. Click on this one, then we can change the color. And I want to take away the stroke here. And you take the rectangle tool. And send it behind. And we can duplicate this one. Hold Alt and Shift. And for the first one, I want to use the eyedropper tool and take it blue. So what I want to happen here is that the logo itself will come in, like rolling in. And when it stops, the first blue one here is going to get so the blue one here is coming from behind the logo, and then the gray one will drop down from the blue one, and the text will follow. It will be text here also. Okay, and I just want to mention this: when you're making a GIF file, it's you can't have too big of a file, so you need to be careful with not having too much colors, like using shadow, for example. That will create a lot of colors, and it can look really ugly on the end results. So try to get without it if you can. And if you want to use shadow, you can use shadow like this. Just drag this one, make it black, and send it behind. Like this shadow is working, but if you're going to use the drop shadow, then it will not work. But for now, just to make it simple, we will keep it like this. In the next video, we are going to make the layers correct, because that's how you're animating in After Effects. Okay, so now we are going to put this into the right layer, so we make it ready for After Effects. And then you go to the Layers panel, and you see all these are in the same layer. And what we want is actually have 3 layers here to make it simple. You can have layers for every letter if you want that, but keep it simple to begin with. So we start creating 2 more. And for the first layer, I want the logo. Okay, it's already there. And for the second layer, we take the text and the blue background, and we drag it to the layers 2. And we can drag the layer 2 behind. Just call it something you know, because naming will be gold here. You need to know what you're working with, especially when you're starting to use a lot of layers. So it can be really messy if you don't have the naming correctly. I mean, you just need to understand what you're clicking on. Layer 1, this was the logo. Now it's okay since we just have 3, but start naming it. Just do it right away. I'm thinking maybe I should make this blue one smaller now, because now it's going all the way down, and I don't want that. I just want it to go here. So now you see. Okay, so now we have the logo, the website, the text from the bottom here, and we have the blue one. And before we go to After Effects, you just need to save this. So we go to File and Save, or Save As. Take it on the desktop and just save it. Okay, now let's go to After Effects. So this is how After Effects looks like. And the best way I'm going to explain this for you is just by doing, and not everything you don't need to worry about in this moment. So you take the Illustrator file and you just drag it in here, and you put it on this project panel and drop it here. And then this one comes up. And then you take composition and you put on layer size. This is important settings to have. Okay. And then you see 2 folders here. I mean this folder, and you have this other one here, composition. And you can see the small icon in the left corner. That means it's the right one, so just double click on that one. And from here, if you see this grid here, you can toggle that on and off. And I can have it on black here now. Down here you see all the files, all the layers you have been put in. And here you find the timeline. And this is what we're going to focus on now. It's the main screen, the timeline, and where you have the layers. The other things you don't need to worry about. Okay, so now I just want to explain the keyframes here. And so you understand how the After Effects works. Okay, so now we just want to hide this one and only show the logo itself. So click on the eye and you only have the logo. And if you toggle on this a little arrow here and open it and open transform, and you can see here it's 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 seconds. Maybe you just have to 10 or 30. So we go to composition and composition settings. And here you see 45 all the way down here. We can just put it to 30. Or actually 10, because 10 seconds is what I recommend. Don't make much longer animation than 10 seconds if you're going to make a GIF. I mean, I made one animation with 14 seconds and I had a gradient on it, and I had to struggle a lot to make that work because the file was way too big for what's allowed. But sometimes you can put down the width and the height just to make it fit into the screen. But we can come back to this. So just click 10 and OK. So now you see it's changed. So when it goes from 0 to 10 seconds, then it starts over again. And here we have on 0 seconds. And if you put on position and you go to 2 seconds and you move this object, hold shift to make it straight and let go. Then you see another keyframe. 1 keyframe, 2 keyframes. There it moves. Just space to make it move, to play it. And the keyframe is like this. It's first frame is here, and on the second keyframe it's here, and then the software calculates how it goes from this this point to this point. And if you wanted to roll around also, you put on rotation and you go to the second keyframe and you can start rotating it. Like say, if we put 0 here and 1 to this one, that means 360. So every 360 it goes 1 up. There you see, pretty simple. And if you wanted to roll back, let's say you wanted to move to this side, stand a little still, and then you wanted to move back. Then what you need to do is to copy these two keyframes, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Then you go a couple of frames forward, and here you can copy these two keyframes, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. And if you want to make it smoother, then you highlight everything and you right click on one of them and you keyframe assistant and easy ease. And what that does is that it makes it start slow and it goes faster, and then it goes slow again towards the other keyframe. You can also highlight, let's say you want to highlight this one and drag it. You want it to go faster, then you can do like this. And you don't want it to stand still for that long time, then you just drag these two closer. just play with these settings, try and see what you like. Maybe you don't even want it to stand still at all, like this. Okay, so in the next one we are going to look at the mask and how that works. So now we want to take a look at the mask, and what you want to do is to bring forward the one you want to mask here, and the best way I can explain this is just by doing, so just follow along here. You will understand this quickly. And you click on the object you want to mask, you go to layers, new, and either solid or shape layer. We put shape layer because we want to edit it. And then you go to the pen tool and you start drawing. Like that. And now you need to go up here and put on the fill. You can put whatever. Okay. And then you see that toggle switches the modes down here. So you need to click on that one. Then you see changes here. And you don't need to care about the mode on the first one here and not the last one. Only the one in the middle. And a mask only works on the object under and not two objects under. So if I had this one over here, it would not have been working on the blue back, then only on this website. So we need to put it down to the right one. And then you need to go to the blue back and the middle one, and you click on alpha matte. So now they are connected. And what will happen here now, if I put this shape layer and I pull it over here, then you can see it comes to life. So to make this mask, we want to start when the logo starts rolling or when it comes back. Okay, so when it comes back in 2 seconds, I want the shape layer. I want it from here. I toggle this one. I put on the position. I go maybe to 3 seconds, and then I just drag it to the side. So how does this look now? Okay, pretty simple, and you can easily use this one as well. And from 3:15 I want this website to pull down and come to life. So again, you can copy and paste this layer, but we want to make another one. So you go to the website, you go to layers, new, solid this time. Okay. And then you just drag this down. And now we want to make it like that. So again, and you click on alpha inverted matte. And now you can just take the website, this object, and transform. And what you can do, you can start with taking the position. Then you can drag the keyframe forward, because then you know it will be in the right position. And from here, you can just pull it up. And this is how it looks. Like this. It's a pretty simple logo, but it gives you all the tools you need to get started. And with this kind of tools, you can create pretty cool things. Okay, so in the next one, we want to export it to Photoshop and make it into a GIF. So what I want to do now, I want to go to composition and add to render queue. And the only settings you need to worry about here is the looseless, and you click on the red, green, blue, and you click on this one, red, green, blue, and alpha, and OK. And what that does, it's make a transparent background. So if you want that, then this is the setting to go. If you don't, then you can just leave it as it is. And if you went behind here, if you went away like I did now, you could just toggle this one, render queue, and click render. It's a little hole there, but okay, no problem. There. And I just want to say one thing here before I go to Photoshop, and that is this animation stops here 4 seconds, and I can choose now to pull this down because I don't need this much after. It's so much space that is just used. And if you want, you can go to composition and wait, if I zoom out, composition settings, and we can put this to, for example, 8. This will save memory. Sometimes you need to do this if you have a lot of colors. And you can also put down the height because it's a lot of space we're not using here. Like this. And then OK. And then you can render it. But anyway, let's go to Photoshop now. So when you have opened Photoshop, what you want to do, this is pretty simple. You just open Photoshop, you take the file that you just downloaded, or you see it's a size of 1.11 gigabyte. It's pretty big, and you don't want this on your web page. So just drag it in to Photoshop. And here you can do as we did in After Effects. You can scale it down. And like this, and then you go to File and Export, Save for Web, old version. And just let it load. Okay, and here you can choose the color and try to make it small if you can. And 64 is normally the lowest you can go. If you go lower than that, what you're working with is going to look ugly. But in my case, 64 is okay. And it will make the file size a lot smaller. And you want this one all the way in animation. You want it to go not one time, but forever. And with that, save. And wherever you want to save it, on desktop, and save. Okay, and that's it. And now we can open it. yeah, 2 seconds. Okay, and now we have it here. And if you hold over it, wait. And here it will go forever. And if you just hold over this one and see the file size is 658 kilobytes. It's a big difference from 1.11 gigabyte that it was before. And that easy is how you make it.